You see them absolutely everywhere, right? On your commute, at the mall, probably where you grabbed your morning coffee. We're talking about a business model that lets brands pop up in thousands of places at once. Today, we're going to open up this business in a box and see exactly what makes it tick. So, have you ever had that dream of being your own boss, but then the thought of building a whole brand, a whole system from nothing? Well, it feels like trying to climb Mount Everest, doesn't it? What if there was another way in? Well, that other way is franchising. So, to kick things off, let's just get a really clear, simple definition of what we're actually talking about here. At its heart, a franchise is basically a license. You have a big established company, we call them the franchisor, and they grant you the right to use their name and their entire playbook for doing business. In return, you, the franchisee, pay them an upfront fee to get in the door, and then ongoing fees, usually a slice of your sales to keep it going. It's kind of like entrepreneurship with training wheels. This whole model really comes down to a core relationship. You can't understand franchising until you understand the two main characters in this story. Think of it like a partnership, a real two-way street. The franchisor brings the big name brand, the proven system, all the operational know-how, and the support. The franchisee, well, they bring the investment money, they run the actual local shop day to day, and they pay those fees that help the mothership keep growing. It's a symbiotic relationship for sure. For it to work, everybody's got to win. But, like any deal, it's a trade-off. You gain something really powerful, but you've got to give something up in return. So let's really dig into the pros and cons of this bargain, looking at it from the franchisee's point of view. Okay, so the biggest benefit by far is security. I mean, instead of launching a risky new idea from scratch, you're buying into a business that already has a safety net. The brand's already known, customers might already be lined up, and the franchisor gives you all the training. It's almost like getting a pre-built bridge over that terrifying early part of the startup journey. But here's the flip side. That safety net, it costs you your freedom. You're locked into a super strict contract that tells you how to do pretty much everything. Those ongoing fees are constantly eating into your profits. And that amazing idea you have for a new menu item or a cool new service, forget it. You're there to follow the playbook, not write a new one. So that's all the theory. But how does this whole balancing act of control and support actually play out in the real world? Let's take a look at a case study that shows the incredible power of this model when it's done right. And who else would we talk about but McDonald's? I mean, they are the absolute titan of franchising. Over 90% of their restaurants are owned by local franchisees. Think about that. They've scaled one business idea into a global empire, one independent owner at a time. And here's their secret sauce, right? It's this incredible mastery of balance. On one hand, you have this relentless consistency. A Big Mac tastes the same in Tokyo as it does in Texas, all thanks to a super strict global playbook. But on the other hand, they're smart enough to adapt. They know that to win in a place like Indonesia, you'd better have rice on the menu. This mix of global rules and local smarts, that is the key to their domination. Okay, so we've defined what a franchise is, we've met the key players, we've weighed the pros and cons, and we've seen it in action. Let's pull it all together and talk about the most important things to walk away with. So, what do you really need to remember? First, at its core, franchising is this fundamental trade-off. You're trading your creative freedom for a much safer bet. Second, it's all about the partnership. Both the brand owner and the local operator have to hold up their end of the bargain. And finally, as McDonald's shows us, the biggest wins often come from nailing that tricky balance between keeping things the same everywhere and adapting to local tastes. And that leaves us with one final big question to chew on. Is buying a business in a box a brilliant shortcut for people who want to be entrepreneurs? Or is it a creative dead end that stamps out real innovation? It's a really interesting debate that gets to the heart of what modern business is all about.